Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the December polish pickup. If you don't know what polish pickup is, every month a bunch of different indie makers get together and they make one polish or one item because there's an array of like skincare and beauty and hair and jewelry and things like that. So everybody contributes one item to the pickup and it's all based off of one theme, and this month's theme is Winter is Coming. This month's pickup will run December 2nd to December 6th, so in the description box below I will link the polish pickup site, I will link their Instagram page, I will try to link what I can as far as the makers that I have goes. Sometimes it tells me my description is too long, sometimes it lets me do it. So if I can do it, I will definitely link it down there as well. And I will link my Instagram where you can see more swatches of everything from today's video. This is a pre-order. If you've never ordered from Polish Pickup before, they do it for the couple days at the beginning of the month, and then all of the makers make their polishes, they send it to Polish Pickup headquarters, and then they ship out your orders from there. It saves you on shipping. That way for the US at least it's a $3 flat rate shipping no matter how many polishes you order, and you can order more than once and they will refund the second $3 shipping that you are charged. So there are over 100 products in this month's pickup. I only have 9 of them, so this is just a itsy bitsy representation of what is available this month, but let's go ahead and get started. So from 77 Nail Lacquer we have Yippee-Ki-Yay MF. This one will retail for $13 and there's a cap of 98 bottles available, and what I mean as far as a cap goes is that some makers have only so many polishes available. For instance, this one has 98 bottles available, and if I say no cap, that means there's no limit to how many can be purchased through the ordering period. This was inspired by the Christmas movie Die Hard, and it's described as a purple base with a multi-chrome pigment that shifts gold to orange to pink to purple to red, topped with a delicate orange shimmer. So this one is definitely shifty on the nail. It has a good formula. It's a little bit sheer. It does take some building up. I find with most multi-chromes that's the case because to get the super shift it has to be a little bit more sheer. If the base is too pigmented, you're going to lose the shiftiness. So that is to be expected. I built this one up in 3 coats and it was full opacity. If you really don't want to do that, you could definitely layer this over a black. Formula is good though, smooth, easy to work with, no running, pulling, or staining. I didn't have any kind of texture with this, but it does dry on the dull side, so you will want a glossy top coat to finish it off for that reason. But nothing is going to be difficult to remove either, so in my swatch photo you're going to see 3 coats of Yippee-Ki-Yay MF and a glossy top coat. So up next from Blush Lacquers we have Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. This was inspired by the mistletoe, and it's described as an olive holographic nail polish with a small holographic flake and varying sizes of iridescent glitters that subtly shift from hints of orange, yellow, and green. This one will retail for $12 and there is no cap. This one is so perfect. Beautiful on the nail, gorgeous Christmas color, perfect formula. I don't expect much else from blush at this point. Their brushes make it super easy to use. This is like just a really good polish, and I don't know how else to say that. Formula is very smooth and easy to work with. These glitters come out easily out of the bottle. They spread out evenly across the nail. They're not like the most noticeable thing when it's built up on the nail, but it does give a subtle hint of like something special in the polish, and I really like that. This is going to dry dull and definitely textured because of the glitter, so you will want a glossy top coat to finish this off, and because of the glitter it is going to make it a little bit difficult to remove. I did get this one opaque in 2 coats, and I do think it's a pretty solid 2-coater, but my nails were shorter at the time, so depending on your application you might need 3 coats, but I highly doubt it. But in my swatch photo you're going to see 2 coats of Meet Me Under the Mistletoe and a glossy top coat. So up next from Colors to Carol we have Christmas Lights After Dark. This was inspired by an ombre Christmas tree that goes from black to white, and it's a thermal shade that goes from a clear to a black with hollow rainbow glitters and shifting rainbow micro shreds. This one will retail for $12.50 and there's a cap of 250 bottles available. So Colors to Carol does these clear to colored thermals really well. It looks a lot like the inspiration picture. It does have a good formula. It's a little bit on the thicker side. It's not difficult to work with, but I did 2 coats of this and didn't want to do a third coat because I didn't want it to get too thick on my nail and take a little longer to dry. So depending on your application, you might want to do 2 or 3 coats of this, but I did do 2. This is going to dry dull, so you will want a glossy top coat to finish this off, and it'll also help hide the texture that is created from these glitters. And being that there are so many glitters in this, it is definitely going to be difficult to remove. I don't personally love removing glitters. I don't hate it. When I can, I will wear a peel-off base coat, and if I don't wear a peel-off base coat, I will soak my nails in pure acetone, or not my nails, hold on. I will take these little nail polish clips, I will soak a cotton ball, and then I will put my finger in it with the cotton ball on top and soak it for about 5 minutes, and then I'll just take it and I'll swipe it off, and then all of it comes right off. So if you hate removing glitter, this is a really good alternative to that. I have like the smallest amount of time between laying the baby down after her morning feeding and everybody else in the house getting up, and here I am going on about nail polish clips. But anyway, in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Christmas lights after dark and a glossy top coat. So up next, from Colors by Llarowe, we have Snowbirds. This was inspired by their travels to Florida when the weather turns cold in Colorado, and it's a light teal base, multi-chrome that shifts light teal to purple to pink to green with a scattered hollow. This will retail for $11, and there's a cap of 200 bottles available. This one is really beautiful and really shifty on the nail. I'm in this like awkward lighting at the moment. It's kind of nasty outside, and I tried to do that first, and it was like the light was going in and out, and it was really awkward. So I decided to use my vanity lighting, and it's not the best thing in the world, but it does give a really pretty shift to multi-chromes. So this one is super shifty, it's super hollow, it's super flashy, it's super beautiful. It has a really good formula. It took 2 coats to build up to opacity for me, and the hollow that's in here stands out really, really nicely. I didn't have any kind of running, pooling, or staining with this one. It's going to dry decently glossy on its own. You will want a top coat primarily for longevity purposes, but it'll also help give it that completed manicure look, because it doesn't dry like super glossy, but it doesn't dry dull. A glossy top coat will also help the hollow in here stand out. I didn't have any kind of difficulty removing this one, and nothing in here is going to dry textured. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Snowbirds and a glossy top coat. So up next, from Flirtin, we have Ornamental. This was inspired by a photo of a purple confetti Christmas tree ornament, and it's described as a dark purple jelly packed with shades of purple confetti mix and glitters. This one will retail for $12, and there's a cap of 75 bottles available. I've said probably somewhere in the spectrum of 700 or 800 times on my channel, I don't like purple polishes. This though is so beautiful. I mean, I come across a purple that I enjoy like maybe 1 every 50, and this is it. This is so fun, so festive, so like sparkly, reflective, glittery, like girly. It's really, really pretty, and it totally reminds me of like a jelly, like peanut butter and jelly kind of jelly, and I really, really like this. Formula is good. It's a little bit on the thicker side, but it's not difficult to work with. And you don't have to do any kind of fishing to get the larger glitters out of here either. You do have to work a little bit to place them on the nail, just to get them spread out evenly. I did have a little bit of issue with like traffic jams of glitter on the nail. So as long as I worked like carefully and I placed them how I wanted them, I didn't have that issue. This does take 3 coats to build up to opacity. You're building up that kind of jelly base and getting more dimension in those glitters. So I really like that. It is going to dry dull and textured because of the glitter that's in here. So you will want a glossy top coat to finish this off. And most definitely one of the removal methods that I mentioned before, because it is a little difficult to remove. And by little, I mean it's pretty difficult to remove. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Ornamental and a glossy top coat. So next, from Heather's Hues, we have Hotel of Ice. This was inspired by the Romanian ice hotel in Lake Balia, Romania, and it's described as a thermal that's plum purple when cold and colorless when warm. It's packed with a red to copper to gold to green iridescent shimmer and a mix of iridescent flakies and red to green to gold and pink to orange to gold. This one will retail for $12 and there's a cap of 180 bottles available. This one also, it didn't say in the description, but it does have like, it's a trithermal pretty much, because there's a mid state to this that is this really, really beautiful icy blue that I thoroughly love. If I could keep this polish in that state, it would be so, I would even take the transition from like the white colorless to the blue. So, so beautiful. This particular purple isn't like my favorite shade to wear, so I know once this thermal dies, it's not something that I'll ever get use out of, but I do really, really like the warm state and the like mid transition bluey state. Formula on this is really good. I got this opaque in 2 coats. It does have that shifty shimmer in here, and that shifty shimmer still stands out really, really vividly on the nail, but I find usually thermals in general are more sheer. Polishes that you need to see the flakies in are more sheer, and these shifty shimmers are definitely polishes that have to be sheer. This one took only 2 coats to be completely opaque, and you can see every element in this polish. It's like magic. I really, really like that about this. This one is going to dry on the dull side, and some of these larger flakes can create a little bit of a texture, so you will want a glossy top coat for that reason, but nothing in this polish is going to be difficult to remove. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Hotel of Ice and a glossy top coat. So up next from KB Shimmer, we have Un-brrr-lievable. This one is inspired by ice castles, and it's described as a cool toned polish that starts out as a rich purple hue. When your hands are warm, the purple quickly shifts to a bold icy blue, reminiscent of those majestic castles. Iridescent flakes in tones of pink, purple, aqua green, and gold light up this wintry nail polish shade, while micro hollow glitters add a hint of sparkle and shine. This one will retail for $10 and there is no cap. I don't know about anybody else, but I always really love her descriptions. They're so like put you right in the center of where her inspiration was instead of just describing the polish, and I really like that. So as I was just talking about not loving purple polishes, I really, really love this. I love the idea of it more than I actually love it, but I do feel like I would get a couple uses out of it during winter seasons. It's just really beautiful. I love the flakes that are in here. I love the blue that it transitions to, and it's a really easy transition for me to get. This is jam-packed with these flakes and the hollow, and it's very dimensional on the nail. It did take 3 coats to build up to opacity for me. I don't mind doing that because these flakes are so beautiful and there's a couple different kinds of them. Everything just kind of works so nicely together. You will want a top coat to finish this off. It does dry a little bit on the dull side, but nothing is going to dry textured and nothing is going to be difficult to remove. So in my swatch photo, you're going to see 3 coats of Un-brrr-lievable and a glossy top coat. You knew it was coming. One of my favorite things that KB Shimmer does is these sugar scrubs, and they've been coming out with them pretty frequently in the polish pickup, and I thoroughly enjoy every single one of them. So this is their Cocoa and Cookies Sugar Scrub. It's inspired by hot chocolate and Christmas cookies. It says this scrub starts out with notes of warm steamed milk and rich chocolate. A hint of vanilla and sugary sweetness along with the tan color of the scrub brings to mind fresh baked cookies. Like your favorite sprinkles, a hint of gold mica completes this yummy scrub. It does say you can use this all over your body as well. So this one will retail for $10 and there is, again, no cap. These are so extremely moisturizing. I use this in between swatching sessions, between collections. I use this in the shower. I use this first thing in the morning to wash my hands. I've got about 7 tubs of them now, and I'm not mad at a single one of them. This one in particular is absolutely delicious. I wasn't sure how I would feel about it being more of a artificial chocolate scent because that's not my favorite scent, but I am pleasantly surprised. This smells divine. And that could possibly be because I'm on a diet and not eating sweets, and like it just smells delicious. But I really, really do enjoy how this smells. So you've heard me say it about 150 times. Highly, highly recommend this. Anytime there is one in a pickup, I would highly recommend grabbing it. Just good for all over your body. I've used this even on my face before, not this particular one, but I have used their sugar scrubs on my face before, and it helps like exfoliate the dead skin off of it. Just get it. It's so good. And lastly, from Sassy Pants Polish, we have Frozen Sapphire. This was inspired by a beautiful black, blue, and silver winter scene and is described as a brilliant sapphire blue holographic polish with black, hollow, and white opalescent assorted glitters. This is finished with blue and silver sparkling shimmers as well. It'll retail for $12 and there's a cap of 100 bottles available. So this one has a good formula also. It took 2 coats to build up to opacity, really icy and cold on the nails. It's perfect for the winter time. There are these like holographic larger glitters in here. I will say I don't think I got any of those out on my nail, and if I did, they weren't like the main attraction of the show. I do feel like this polish would have been a little bit more appealing to me without them. But I do really enjoy the darker bits that are in here. This has a really strong hollow, really gorgeous. That hollow is going to stand out better in the sunlight, and I don't get snow where I live, but I think with the darker base that this is reflecting off of the snow, that hollow is going to look super beautiful, super wintry, and I think it's going to work really well together. This is going to dry dull and textured, so you will want a glossy top coat to finish that off. And this one is going to take a little bit of scrubbing to remove. Nothing that I feel like I would have to wear a peel-off base coat for or anything like that. But it is going to be a little bit more difficult than, say, a cream would be. But in my swatch photo, you're going to see 2 coats of Frozen Sapphire and a glossy top coat. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of these polishes. Let me know what your favorite was from today's video. Let me know what you plan on picking up from this month's polish pickup. Thank you so much for bearing with me while I'm essentially falling asleep on camera. I am excruciatingly tired. And like, hopefully everything I said made sense, but I feel like a few polishes and I started to lose myself. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.